In the heart of the forest, where the trees stood tall and ancient, a whisper of wind stirred the leaves, carrying with it the faintest echo of a young girl's laughter. But in the eerie silence that followed, her laughter turned to silence, and the woods held their breath, as if waiting for something unspeakable to unfold. Ava Reynolds, a sweet and innocent girl of 12, had ventured into the forest one fateful afternoon, her curiosity lured by the secrets that lay hidden within its tangled depths. But as the shadows grew long and the sun dipped below the horizon, Ava failed to return home, sending a ripple of fear cascading through the small town of Willow Creek. The townsfolk rallied together, their voices raised in a chorus of desperation as they combed through every inch of the forest, their hearts heavy with dread. But despite their efforts, Ava remained elusive, her whereabouts shrouded in mystery as the days stretched into weeks. Among the search party were Ava's parents, Sarah and Michael Reynolds, their faces etched with worry as they trudged through the undergrowth, their footsteps echoing through the silent woods like a dirge. With each passing day, hope began to wane, until it was but a flickering ember in the darkness. But then, on the 20th day of Ava's disappearance, a glimmer of hope pierced the gloom. For as Sarah and Michael ventured deeper into the forest than ever before, they stumbled upon a hidden cave nestled amidst a grove of ancient oaks, its entrance obscured by a tangle of vines and brambles. With trepidation coursing through their veins, Sarah and Michael stepped into the cavernous darkness, their flashlight casting long, eerie shadows that danced upon the walls like specters in the night. But despite the oppressive gloom, they pressed on, driven by a desperate need to find their daughter. And then, amidst the silence, they heard it, the faintest sound of laughter echoing through the cavern, like the tinkling of bells on a distant breeze. Heart pounding in their chests, they followed the sound, their footsteps echoing off the walls as they delved deeper into the darkness. And there, bathed in the feeble glow of their flashlight, they saw her, a small figure huddled in the shadows, her back turned to them as she sat upon a jagged outcrop of rock. Ava, relief surged through Sarah and Michael's veins as they rushed forward, their voices trembling with joy as they called out to their daughter. But as they drew closer, their relief turned to horror. For Ava sat motionless, her eyes fixated on some unseen horizon, her lips curved into a grotesque parody of a smile. But it was her eyes that held them captive, empty, soulless orbs that glowed with an unnatural light, devoid of all humanity. "Ava, sweetie, it's us," Sarah whispered, her voice trembling with a mixture of hope and fear. But Ava did not respond. She simply continued to smile, her gaze unyielding, as if she were peering into the very depths of eternity. With a sinking heart, Michael reached out to touch her, his fingers trembling as they made contact with her cold, clammy skin. And in that moment, he knew. Their daughter was lost to them, swallowed whole by the darkness that lurked within the depths of the forest. And as they stared into her lifeless eyes, they realized with a growing sense of horror that they were not alone. For in the shadows that danced upon the cave walls, something stirred, a presence older than time itself, hungering for the souls of the lost and the damned. And as Sarah and Michael stood frozen in terror, they knew that they had stumbled upon something far more sinister than mere coincidence. They had found the gateway to hell itself, and their daughter was its willing emissary. The cave seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, its walls closing in around them as they stood paralyzed with fear. Sarah's heart hammered in her chest as she struggled to comprehend the nightmare unfolding before her eyes. But then, from the depths of the darkness, a voice whispered, a sibilant hiss that sent shivers down her spine. "Join us," it said, its words dripping with malice. "Join us in the eternal darkness." Sarah recoiled in horror, her mind reeling with terror as she clung to Michael for support. But even as they turned to flee, they knew that escape was futile, for the darkness had already claimed them, body and soul. And as the shadows closed in around them, Sarah and Michael's screams echoed through the cavern, mingling with the laughter of the lost and the damned as they were swallowed whole by the abyss. And in the heart of the forest, where the trees stood tall and ancient, a whisper of wind stirred the leaves, carrying with it the faintest echo of a young girl's laughter. But in the eerie silence that followed, her laughter turned to silence, and the woods held their breath, as if waiting for something unspeakable to unfold.
Dear viewers, if you like to watch the scariest horror stories, do subscribe, like and share our channel. Thank you.